a ploy to divide us from within. Is that all that you got? We connected the dots, Corona and BLM. Come on, you thought we were asleep, but you were dead wrong. You don't understand, 'cause it's part of the plan. 'Cause when we go one, we go all. And nothing can stop. Nothing can stop. Nothing can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop what's coming. Yeah, nothing can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop what's coming. Nothing can stop. Yeah, nothing can stop. The Great Awakening, the call to man, the hidden story, the master plan. We are all human, we have a voice. We are blessed and burdened with a choice. With a choice. We are blessed and burdened with a choice. Don't you forget, with open arms, we are waiting. Don't you forget, with open arms, 'cause where we go on, we go on. When rises up, we all stand tall. 'Cause where we go on, we go on. Together we're unstoppable. Together we're You might have noticed the changing tides. We stand for freedom, for the waking minds. We are all human, we have a voice. We are blessed and burdened with a choice. We are all human with a choice. We are blessed and burdened with a choice. Don't you forget, with open arms, we are waiting. Don't you forget, with open arms, where we go on, we go on. When rises up, we all stand tall. 'Cause where we go on, we go on. Together we're unstoppable. Where we go on, we go on. When rises up, we all stand tall. 'Cause where we go on, we go on. Together we're unstoppable. 'Cause where we go on, we go on. Together we're unstoppable. Together we're unstoppable. Clearly freedom's dangerous. It's a threat threat to those in power. It's a threat to their lives. It's their demise. Call me a rebel, but my cause is as pure as the sun. It's freedom I desire, the sweet truth, no more lies. Global elitists with no one that they answer to are controlling your lives, are controlling your lives. And if you don't believe me, look at your meds, water, tech, and your food. This little kill has arrived. See the all-seeing eye. So push back. It's time to awake. We're
going to be talking about QA and AN today. QA and AN. We'll be starting this off real soon. Just gonna top off this coffee right here and then we'll start it up.
Crooked are the fallen, twisted games they play with lives. Now what have we done? We let them overrun. We gave them a foothold. We gave them our minds and our hearts. We almost gave them our souls. But now we're taking their control. Pick up the fallen, reach out and take a brother's hand. Stand fast for the truth.
Helps if you could hear me, right? I don't think you're unreasonable. Welcome everyone. I appreciate y'all for showing up. What I was saying was today's episode of Exposing Fake News, we're kind of going to cover the Q question, you know, who is Q, what is Q, what does the media say versus what is the facts, and, you know, we're going to have to kind of dive into this. I got a couple recent articles related to Q. I tried to pick the most recent ones because I've talked on some other people's shows about all of this. Welcome, Claire. About this and how they portray it compared to what the movement's really about, who's part of the movement, you know. So we briefly covered this on our last episode, but we're going to start here on the Wikipedia. I'm going to throw it up on screen for you so you could see. Let's get this a little bigger for you guys. Sorry. I switched scenes, so. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in so that we could all see it. over here, this says QAnon is a far-right conspiracy theory. So just at the very beginning, based on Wikipedia, they're making this group, as they like to call us, because we're all the same. None of us have differing opinions. We all agree with whatever. Oh, wait. That's not what the Q movement's about. It's all about exposing the falsehoods and the narratives that are being portrayed to us rather than focusing on what the media has been hyping up, like these people. NBC News, they're just here to tell you whatever they want about it, They bring up these other anonymous posters such as FBI Anon, HLI Anon, High Level Insider, CIA Anon, White House Insider Anon. These are all old Anons who may or may not have been actually what they said, And even if Q is a LARP, like a lot of these mainstream people like to say, it's the idea that matters. It's not the person. It's not the fact that, Q is this almighty, all-knowing being. We don't see it that way, or at least I don't. I can't speak for everyone, but it's an idea. It's a movement. It's modern-day philosophy, basically. And they want to brand it in a certain way that makes us all look bad. Like we're all bad people because we support the QAnon, and the truth is, I don't support QAnon. I support the idea that QAnon is talking about, So let's just keep going down here, They say we're a far-right conspiracy theory, which, as I said, I don't think we're far-right at all. Awesome. Good to hear, Pattern. I don't think we're far-right at all. I find myself in the middle of the political spectrum most of the time, rather than either far right or far left. I will say I'm a conservative in morals and ideas, but that doesn't mean I side with every conservative ever. There's corruption on both sides. They try to make it sound like Q says that only Democrats are bad, when in fact Q has said there's corruption on both sides. And if you read all the Q drops, I said this earlier, but if you go to qanan.pub, there's lots of posts. There's a total of 4,627, so it's like a short child's novel at this point, it's not even a page a post, some posts are two words signed by Q, so it's not a long read if you go ahead and read through it. And by reading through it, you understand that there is a narrative, just like the mainstream media does, being portrayed through these clues, as I call them, QLUES, clues. That's what I call them. And these are all clues. They all have different aspects in which the clues attack from, to either inform us, the masses, or, give operational tasks to operators, or there's a lot of different types of clues that come out, and not all of them are for Anons, and I don't think all Anons get it. And as Q has said, disinfo, let's just go with disinformation. If you look in here, he says that they call him a LARP, the mainstream media, and that disinformation is real. And he also told you that disinformation is key to this operation, if you'd like to call it the Q operation or whatever. But, this is a good clue. Right here it says P-R-A-Y, pray. And, it says CIA is here, pray. This is a clue within a single clue. And it is reminding Anons that the CIA are on the boards, they're being watched, they're actively following QAnon. And, like in the most recent post, we'll just go back to the beginning, Q speaks of this, all assets deployed, information warfare, infiltration instead of invasion. I think you're supposed to assume that because that's a very common theme in the Q drops is infiltration instead of invasion and information warfare. And we find ourselves caught in these moments and times constantly due to the narratives being spun by the mainstream media, and there's only so much we as people could do. This is why this channel has started, because I'm tired of it. I'm over being lied to from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed if I turn on my TV. I think you guys are too. You let me know. Like, are you tired of all the BS? Of nothing but hate and vitriol on your TV? There's nothing that is positive in any way, that is able, that they want to show us, and it's up to us. How Q kept telling us we are the news? It's because we are. Like, us doing this, us talking about this, us challenging the narrative that we're given over just blindly accepting it is a huge step forward for Americans in general. Because we've been lied to since the 50s regarding our media and how the media is handled and who runs it. And it just keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. And we're reaching a point where we're going to break the system. And I want to be part of it, personally. I want to be able to be a voice of reason. Like, one of our little mottos here at ABCU is honest news for the people, by the people, which is me and you. I'm just a regular guy. I know, like, y'all could think whatever you want about me, and that guy's Q, this other guy's Q, everybody's cute. You could blame whatever you want. But what I want to do is I want to bring you the facts. So we're going to pop back over here to this Wikipedia article again and just kind of look at what they're saying about us. We're super pro-Trump. They make up lies about how Mueller was involved in it. And as we said, in the Q operation, disinformation is necessary. Who do you think Q is really talking to when he said, trust Mueller? I think that's where they get this assumption, So when Q says to trust someone, is he really saying trust them? Or is he saying think for yourself? Question yourself. Think about whether these people are doing what's good for you. Or whether, like, the whole goal of telling us to trust Ray, trust Sessions, trust all these people, is optics more than it is an actual clue. Because if they work on the optics of this, like the Democrats think QAnons are trusting Mueller, they're gonna do what they can to get in there, So there's lots of false information that isn't for Anons, isn't for me, isn't for you, So understanding how to read it. This is why I recommend everyone read the clues as a novel. Start at number 1. Go all the way to the newest one. And all of a sudden you have a narrative being painted in your mind, and in your psyche of what the goal of Q is. And I could tell you what it is. It's freedom and prosperity returned to the American people. And who took it is the question. Our government. We are supposed to be ruled of and by the people. And since I've been born, I'm born in the late 80s. Um, you know, it hasn't been run for and by the people. And that's what the Q movement's mainly about, is not usurping power like our enemies do, the deep state, the cabal, as the mainstream media and Wikipedia like to call it. As I showed earlier, not once cabal. Not zero posts mention a cabal or the word cabal at all. Where does the mainstream media come up with this? Same thing for satanic. Satan. This will encompass Satan, satanic, any words that encompass Satan. Let's do a Control F, Satan again, just to really make it stand out for you. So, this is Breitbart talking about the Church of Satan, not Q. This is a letter from a church to Mr. Trump, President Trump, thanking him for fighting the darkness that's in our world, which is a big theme in Q, is to fight the darkness. What is the darkness? Who is the darkness? He doesn't fully explain it, this Q character, but he does give you enough context clues to understand that it is a possibility that these people are partaking in occult activities. Let's call them that, because as I said at the end of the last show, Satanism is an atheistic religion, which means they do not have deities. So to call these people satanic, as in the Church of Satan, is incorrect. While the Church of Satan has zero deities, other occult religions and philosophies do have deities, including Satan, Moloch. These are the people you got to look out for. And they want to lump it all together into one to make us look crazy and delusional and lost, like we don't know what we're talking about. And the truth is, a lot of us do. A lot of us have done our research prior to trying to persuade anyone else. Our goal isn't to push our narrative on anyone. Our goal is to make people see for themselves, basically. A bunch of other QAnoners say it. I've said it for a long time. The truth isn't told. It's only learned. You've got to seek the truth for yourself. If, we need to be the light for others to be able to see what's going on. It's very... what's the right word? It's very difficult to fully comprehend the whole picture that Q's painted for most people. This is why he said in the beginning, maps are key, side-by-sides are key, you are a key. And what is the keystone? And if you don't understand what a keystone is, it's the last brick you place on an arch. So if there's an arch, there's a single brick right here that, holds it all together. It's usually about this shape, and that is what a keystone is. But metaphorically, a keystone is something that holds the whole structure together. So on the 8kun boards, there's a poster who often posts this image of the White House on one side, the U.S. military on the other, and then you, like in the brackets, like on a Chan or a Kun, is you. And it's supposed to symbolize that we, together, are the keystone. And that's why where we go one, we go all is so important. Because we're not in this fight alone. There's many many of us, by my math, and based on some research I did with other people, there's at least 9.4 million QAnon supporters. How does that resonate? 9.4 million. And this isn't the US. And these are people who are actual, true supporters, not just, I think QAnon is cool. I think it's okay. I think the message is good. These are true supporters. So our movement is huge. It's worldwide, and to have people like this, the Guardian talking bad about us, the New York Times talking bad about us, the who the hell is this? USA Today talking bad about us. What did we do to deserve this hate? We're not out in Portland shooting people because they support a certain idea, are we? Do you know anyone out there participating in these protests? Anyone in here in chat know anyone who's, participating in this debauchery, as I'll call it, because that's what it is. It's just nonsense, like what we're witnessing, and they want to place this blame on us, like we're radicalized. I don't think any of the ideas presented by Q are that radical. Does anyone here think that the ideas presented by Q are super radical or very scary? Like the only scary thing about it is that a lot of it's true. Yeah, see? Zero, not at all, zero. Yeah, none of us are participating in this nonsense. And when we do go out there to show our support, someone gets shot, executed in the chest for no reason. Where's that here? Where's this? This should say how radical Black Lives Matter and other dark forces are radicalizing America as the COVID-19 pandemic rages and elections loom. That's the truth. There aren't these QAnon supporters out there doing that. We had the Save the Lives on August 22nd, I believe, that a lot of people did participate in throughout the United States and elsewhere. Where's our coverage on that? All they said was, man, QAnon stole the Save the Children. QAnon and QAnoners, or whatever you want to call us, the Anons, as we are properly known. We've been about Save the Children since before Q. Q just gave us a motivation to get together. Yeah, exactly, Claire. Q wants us to come together under these ideas, we need to unite under these ideas. But they're too busy trying to divide us with headlines like this. What are these other dark forces that they're asserting with QAnon? He talks about God more times than he talks about Satan. 198 posts, there's the word God. Like, who are these dark forces? Who are they? I'm not praying to Moloch. I'm not that lady from Black Lives Matter who says she's tapping into the power of the spirits to help them. I can find you the clip if you guys haven't seen it. But one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter is talking about channeling spirits to help them with their movement. We're not doing that. I don't believe in that. That's a cult S. That's a cult BS. And all I want to tell all those people who play with the occult is the price may not be of this world, but you're going to pay a price. That's why I don't play with magic. It's why I don't play with the occult. you know? And they want to associate us QAnoners with the occult because they know people fear it. It's just sad, like, that they could lie so much and get so many people to believe them. Spirits. Here you go. I'll mute myself so you can watch it. I'll pull up the video for you, Claire. It's pretty good. Excuse me, folks. Sorry. I didn't mean to cough on you.
Black Lives Matter founders admit they actively summon spirits. What?
Maybe I'm sharing too much, but we become very intimate with the spirits that we call on regularly, right? Like each of them seems to have a different presence and personality. You know, I laugh a lot with Waukesha, you know, and I didn't meet her in her body, right? I met her through this work.
Oh, Lord. She said she laughs a lot with Waukesha, who she didn't meet in her body. So where'd you meet? You laughing with Waukesha, where did y'all meet? You're going to find that Dr. Abdullah and Patrice Cullors talks about summoning the spirits of the dead, using the power of the spirits of the dead in order to give them the ability to do what they're calling the so-called justice work. You're going to find that what they're describing is their adherence to the Yoruba religion of Ifa or Ifa, to where they are summoning dead spirits. If you think I'm laughing, because you might have heard many people saying, oh, you're making all of this noise about Black Lives Matter. It's just a hashtag. Oh, really? Listen to clip number 4. This is Patrice Cullors.
It's a very important practice. Hashtags are, for us, are way more than a hashtag. It is literally almost resurrecting a spirit so they can work through us to get the work that we need to get done. I started to feel personally connected and responsible and accountable to them, both from a deeply political place, but also from a deeply spiritual place. And always, you know, in my tradition, you offer things that your loved one who passed away would want, you know, whether it's like honey or tobacco, things like that. And it's so important, not just for us to be in direct relationship to our people who've passed, but also for them to know we've remembered them. I believe so many of them work through us.
Now, in case you're wondering who that is speaking, that is Patrice Cullors, co-founder of the Black Lives Matter organization, the same one you just heard saying we are trained Marxists. She is describing that, oh, you thought it was just a hashtag. It's more than hashtags. We are summoning our people from the dead. She said in our tradition. What tradition is that? Where you offer things to people, and as a result of summoning them so frequently, we begin to develop a relationship where I become close with them. See, you thought it was just a hashtag. How many of the people that are turning out for these rallies, these marches, how many of them do you think know?
The rest of that's just this guy's opinion, who obviously thinks how I think, that this is nonsensical. They're saying we're bad people while they're summoning spirits. And I'm not bashing on anyone's religion. Like, if your religion is the occult, sure, keep it to yourself. Like, I keep my religion to myself, you know? Like, I'm not here to convert anyone or tell people that they need to be doing certain things or not doing certain things. That's not my place. You know, I believe in American freedom, and part of it is you could worship whatever you want, however you want, and I won't stop you. I'm not going to be the guy who says, you can't do that. You know, that's not in my repertoire. So let's go through this article real quick about how we're so anti-Semitic. I grew up in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood. So I know a lot about the Jewish culture and, you know, understand that Jewish customs and things like that. So I'm definitely not anti-Semitic. I am anti-Zionist. I will tell anyone. The political Zionists who have their hands in the pots of everything, yeah, I have a problem with them. Big problem. But I'm not anti-Semitic. Jewish people are great. Any religion is fine. I'm not here to judge you by your faith. That's not my duty. That happens when we're dead. And I'm not even sure what happens then. But they want to make it all about QAnon's only about Donald Trump. I will let you know, a lot of QAnons fully support Donald Trump. But that's not why we follow Q. It's not. It's just not why we do it. You know, and then it's a baseless internet conspiracy that reached the American mainstream in August. So they're saying that this only started last month, this month, because today's the 31st. I'm pretty sure lots of people have known about the QAnon, as they like to call it, which is Q, and the Anons, who do the research. You know, there's just so much misinformation. A cabal of Satan-worshipping Democrats. He's never said that they're all Democrats, and he never said they're all Satan worshippers. So where do they get this info? Do they find the most extreme QAnon people and then write down what those people are saying? There's extremists in every organization, every group. If you're to judge things by the extreme ends of a spectrum, yeah, sure. You're always going to find a problem with things. People don't try enough. People try too hard. You know, like, look at what the average is in the bell curve of the QAnon world, you know, instead of walking on the fringes of it, you know. Like, I'm not a supporter of Nasera Gassera. Q's never said it. Where did everyone come up with that crap? You tell me. It was October 2017. The first post with Q as the Q was in November. So notice the first Q post. I'll zoom in for you guys. This is the first Q post, very first Q post, the 28th of October 2017 at 2 in the afternoon my time, which is 4:44 East Coast. So, you know, he says that extradition is already in motion. And you know how I said read this like a book? He's creating a narrative. And if you've ever watched a movie, Q's a big movie guy. They don't talk about that in the mainstream media, about Alice or Alice in Wonderland or The Godfather or the White Squall. You know, they don't talk about any of the actual minutia of the Q movement. They're all so focused on bad man, bad, like they do with Trump. bad man bad. That's all they got to say against it. If they really, I'm not going to give them any ammo, but there are ways that you could mock QAnon if you wanted to that are appropriate and fact-based. But that doesn't negate that the info that was provided in these drops is not valid, you know? So he doesn't become Q until post 64, I believe. 64, right here. That's the first time he signs with Q. Prior to that, it's signed Alice in Wonderland with a hex code, I believe. And then here, it's signed Alice in Wonderland. Here, it's signed Q. Okay, so 61, not 64. Here, it's signed Alice in Wonderland. And what they don't do is they don't give the credit where it's due. Because he did not come on the scene saying, I'm Q immediately. He came on the scene telling a story. Like I said, this is a story that's being played out in front of us. HRC extradition already in motion, effective yesterday. But you know, a big theme of Q is future proofs past. And because these people aren't in the know, basically, with what Q and QAnon is all about, they aren't willing to understand the drops. Like, for all we know, this could be a future proofs past. And like, I'm not trying to get all conspiratorial, but this is how you write a good book. You start with the end. You start with the thing that's going to grab people's attention. And HRC's extradition would be huge. So think of that as the end goal rather than the start. Is a great way to kind of analyze it. Like I said, read it like a book. It'll blow your mind. It'll change the way you think about Q. And then to get back here, you know, what is Q? They keep saying we're baseless internet conspiracy theory. Why attack us so hard if there's zero base to us and that it's just a conspiracy theory? Are those who you attack? Q has asked several times. Do you expand ammunition when you're winning? No, you definitely don't. You expand ammunition when you're trying to recover. When you're trying to cover your own butt. And then they keep wanting to lump in Pizzagate, which happened before QAnon. Completely before. 2016. We just reviewed right here. His first post is October 28th, 2017. They like to associate the kid who shot it up in 2016 with QAnon. How do you do that? Q doesn't effing exist. Like, how ignorant can you be? You, mainstream media, you. How ignorant can you be to think that is reasonable? To just lie. To just effing make up shit. Sorry. To just make stuff up. And then we'll move on to their other big point, adrenochrome. You know, they love to say this adrenochrome. We're all about adrenochrome. Let's go over here. Let's see how many times Q mentions adrenochrome. Huh. What? None? Huh? Oh, that's because the media is full of shit. Adrenochrome, not mentioned once. Zero. Where's all the adrenochrome? It's not coming from Q. Where are people getting this info? I'm not saying it's not real. You could buy adrenochrome online. You can buy it. Let's order some, guys. spelled it wrong. Shopping. Look, on Google. I could just buy it on Google. None of these are real. But you can buy the chemical compound that's adrenochrome. And I'm saying they're conflating things that aren't related at all. How? Do they do this? For real. Like I'm really curious as how people jump to these conclusions. Like, for real, how do they do it? You ever seen this? This jump to conclusions, Matt? This is what they do. They just decide again. They decide. And they're just jumping to conclusions that are false. Just completely false. No facts. And they want us to believe the rest of their news? They can't even give us news about stuff they don't like that's factual. Why would I trust them on anything? Why? All right. So here, guys, we're gonna real quick have a word from our sponsors. I'm gonna run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Miss Tracy, and we're gonna recite
Alrighty. So that was the Pledge of Allegiance. I hope you all put your hand on your heart, stood up if you can. Really respect America, unlike all these fake news people who have zero respect for America and our American values. So, it's a big part of ABCU is being proud American, even if you're not American. It's about the American values, the American ideals, the American way of life, basically, that we've all come to just take for granted. Have no respect for our founding fathers, our many, many, many people who have died so that we could have such a comfy life. Like, it's super comfy here in America. We forget that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people have died for us. How do we show them gratitude? We stand up for our flag, put our hand on our heart, and we thank them. Unlike these ungrateful people, these superstars who want to take a knee and they play in all of these leagues. Like, let's do baseball, MLB, Major League Baseball is what it stands for. But there's two conferences in MLB, the American Conference and the National Conference. Those are very, very state-oriented, federally oriented. Oh, I think they should stand if they want to remain the American League and the National League Or else they could be the Shenzhen League and the Guangzhou League, you know? Take 2 cities in China and go over there. Because us Americans aren't putting up with this. We've all turned off our TV. We're not watching your sports. We're not watching sports ballers take a knee. You know why we pay you millions? To entertain us. You know what's not entertaining? Disrespecting my culture. Disrespecting my friends' cultures. Your guys' cultures. That's not entertaining. If you want to be our entertainers, stand up. Not gonna take it anymore. This is our America. These are our American values. If you can't embrace them, you don't seem very American to me. So, that's just my 2 cents on that pledge, flag stuff, the national anthem. Stand. Show your American pride. If not because you love America, because a bunch of people died so you can. So you could have the right to hate America. Because you have that right. You could hate us. I'm fine with it. I support your freedoms fully. But I don't support malicious behavior by our entertainers. You know, and then we're going to keep going through this article, calling out more fake stuff. So like I said, Pizzagate happened before it. This 2016 Pizzagate shooting happened before QAnon, even though they want to correlate the two, which have 0 correlation. Strange. Pizzagate, blah, blah, blah. Members of the cabal extract the chemical adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is not mentioned once. Not once in any Q drop. This, they are correct about, that there's an age-old, it's not anti-Semitic, it is a Semitic ritual called blood libel, which is real. And it's gross. So, they want to say it's anti-Semitic and age-old, but you know what? It is Semitic, and it's real. Ask about circumcisions in Jewish culture and whether they suck the blood off the clean foreskin or not. It's gross, but it's true. Just because you don't like it doesn't make it less true. Just because they think it's anti-Semitic doesn't make it less true. Facts don't care about your feelings. I don't either. If you're going to get your feelings hurt by facts, it's a personal issue for you, not for me. Facts don't care about your feelings, and my facts don't either. So we're just going to keep going. So how did it go from 4chan to a full-fledged conspiracy movement? Because people care. That's why. If what QAnon was saying was just some nonsense babble, you know, what's typically all over 4chan, nonsense babble, hate, things like that, yeah, it would have disappeared like all the other LARPs. But there's something more to this. You know, there's something way more to this. Why? And people say it's a boomer thing. I'm not a boomer. I'm a millennial. So they just have it all wrong. They keep painting these pictures without understanding what they're painting. They just keep listening to the few people who speak the loudest about it. They say there's 100,000 of us. I told you earlier, I'm pretty sure there's 9.4 million of us who actively support the movement. Not the closet Q people, but actively support it. Like, look, there's 100,000 people total, but there's a single Facebook group with 200,000 members. Lying in your own news. Like, How could there only be 100,000 people if there's 200,000 in a single group? Math's not their strong suit. You know, and then they've also limited the counts of 150,000 other accounts. That's more than the whole movement by 50%. That's crazy. That's crazy that they're deleting more accounts than there are people in the movement. Wild. Just straight lies. This is what this show's for, to show you these lies. Do you see them? Do you see what they're doing? Are you buying it? Other people are. Go tell them. Go tell them these are lies. Why does it matter? There's threats of violence. Who? Show me. Show me all these violent QAnoners. Where are they? Where? I don't see them. Save the children. So for years, we've been using a wide range of online tactics to achieve virality and garner the mainstream media coverage, including making documentaries full of misinformation. Which documentaries have misinformation? I'm not sure. They won't tell you what they're talking about. They should have included them and let the people decide. Because I think they're talking about Joe M., Fall of the Cabal. What's the other big one? Shadowgate? Are those the documentaries they're talking about? There were some misconstrued truths in Fall of the Cabal. Joe M's videos are relatively accurate. You know, there might have been some misinformation about misinfo about the C-19, but that just came out right before this article. It looks like this article took him a long time. Oh, wait, no, it didn't, because it's full of lies. And then the Save the Children, I know for a fact, Anons have been using Save the Children since about mid-2018, so that's 2 years. So this became popular a couple weeks ago when, you know, they decided that we became popular in August, or mainstream as they want to call it. We've been using it for 2 years before that, and now we're the problem? No. So that's just one article. I called out that about more than 50% of this article is just fake or lies. Bald face lies to your face. Let's move on to another one. Is QAnon the viral pro-Trump conspiracy theory? Yeah, we are pro-Trump. But you see who our other choice is? Sleepy Joe? Literally sleeping? Did you see that clip? I'm not sure if it's real, but I love the clip. We're going to cut over to Joe. He's just effing sleeping in the middle of an interview. Excuse me, sorry guys. Okay, so let's go through this. You're spending a lot of time online these days, thanks pandemic. You probably heard QAnon, sprawling internet conspiracy theories. It's a fringe phenomenon. What fringe are we on? Like, 8kun's not as dangerous as y'all think it is, as everyone tells you it is. Look, I'm on it, on the ClearNet. I'm on the ClearNet, right here. ClearNet. It's not dangerous. ClearNet. Like, they want you to live in perpetual fear. And these are all just emotional appeals. QAnon appears to be most popular among older Republicans and evangelical Christians. I am not an older Republican, number one. I am turned 33 this year. So Maybe I'm older. I don't know. I feel pretty young most of the time. I'm not an evangelical Christian. I was raised Roman Catholic, and I follow the Lotus faith. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Light of Truth, Universal Shrine, Sri Swami Satchidananda is the minister, or whatever you'd like to call it, for the organization. It's a faith that is based on respecting all faiths and understanding that there is a little bit of light in everything. And it's about understanding the light over the dark. So, those are both overgeneralizations to group these people into groups that people could exclude. You see what they're trying to do? You see the narrative they're building? That QAnon appears to be most popular among older Republicans and evangelical Christians. This sentence is throwing them into a little group, a little box, saying, these are the people that are QAnanners, And the truth is, you don't have to be any of that shit to be a QAnanner. All you have to do is do your own research. Read the drops, or not. I don't care. You don't have to read them. If you know something's wrong, do the right thing. That's what the movement's all about. We see our government's effing us over? No more. We're not taking it. You see your local government's effing you over? No more. We're not going to take it. Let them know. Let them know we're not going to lay down and let them give it to us from behind anymore. We're not going to take it. It's just not acceptable. So to keep moving on, why does it matter? We're violent. Look, he basically copied this art. Oh, sorry, wrong page. I was about to say, it's like the same article. Let's see, online, very questions, flooded, QAnon-related false information about COVID. So this, they're probably trying to call out that Joe M video and other people saying that, nah, COVID's fake. And you know what? I'm here to tell y'all COVID is real. Is it as deadly as they say? Definitely not. Is it a pandemic? Definitely not. They want to just make us look so bad, like we're bad people. And I don't see us rioting, burning them down like these people, BLM. They're literally burning down Portland for 93 days straight. I think today is the 93rd day if they go at it again tonight. Who are these believers that are charged with violent crimes? Accused of murdering a mafia boss. Bad people die all the time. Some bad people deserve to be killed. And then apparently another's arrested for accused of threatening to kill Joe Biden. You know how many people I've heard threaten to kill Donald Trump? You know how many famous people I've heard threaten to kill Donald Trump? Zero effing consequences. Zero. Kathy Griffin, go to jail. Maria Abramovich, go to jail. Hillary Clinton, go to jail. Why aren't all those people in jail? He's not even a president or a vice president at the time. But these people threaten to kill our president, walk around with his head, a makeshift head with blood dripping off it, like Kathy Griffin. Fine. We'll prop it up. We're the news. It's good. It's good. But this guy did a thought crime, accused of threatening to kill. I don't see a crime there. Do you? Do you see a crime there? He's accused of a thought crime because he thought it. And then, we got some Q support in the Congress. They want to try to turn this against us. It's their last, I guess, hoorah against the Republicans to say, bad QAnon supporter. They can't run government. But the thing is, she's literally a future Republican star, as Mr. Trump said. And she's going to do great service for us. So here's the only bit of truth I see in here. QAnon is an incredibly convoluted theory. Yes, that is true. It is very convoluted and obfuscated, whatever. You know the word I'm trying to say. Obfuscated intentionally. Not everyone's supposed to understand it. Not everyone is supposed to know what's going on, you know? And then here they go talking bad about us, about how, you know, top Democrats, Hillary, Barack, George Soros, is he a Democrat? I don't know. Apparently, according to this article, he is. And a number of entertainers, Oprah, Tom Hanks, Ellen. So I'm pretty sure Q hasn't mentioned them. Let's just go check. Ellen. Is that how you spell Ellen? I don't know. I'm not an Ellen fan. Yep. Okay. So where's all this Ellen DeGeneres talk? Is it A-N? No, it's E-N. I did it right. Oh, Trump's on. I'm going to wrap it up here shortly. But Trump's on. If y'all want to leave, I get it. Go see the Master-in-Chief. But like these things they say, there's not a single mention of Ellen, man. There's not a single mention of Tom Hanks. There's not a single mention of Oprah Winfrey. There's one image. A single one image. Let's see. Cappy. Flight logs. Yeah. There's the flight log image, and then there's the Isaac Cappy image. Those are the only ones that really incorporate any sort of individuals that they're naming here. So it just seems so off. And then they want to say that JFK Jr. is alive, UFOs, 9/11 truthers. You know, they want to just take everything and smash it and be like, QAnon bad. And that's just not how it is. You know? So, here's an example of a Q drop. You know, they did a slightly better job, this New York Times article, but every chance they get, they keep trying to diss him or say things like this. Cabal of child-eating Satanists? Doesn't say that anywhere in the Q drops. This is something that a few Anons decided, and it went viral. It doesn't make it the truth. So, you know, I'll do a couple more of these on Q whenever I'm looking to just fill exposing fake news, because it seems endless. The other thing I wanted to touch on is Jim Watkins being Q. As far as I know, Jim Watkins is not Q. Yeah, Mr. Trump is on.
Even think about it. They wake up the next morning, they don't even think about it. This is the extreme left's agenda for America. They want to appoint radical prosecutors, judges, and federal officials who will set criminals free. Their stated plan is to cut police funding, abolish cash bail, close down prisons, re-educate our children, preach left-wing social justice, establish a national sanctuary for criminal illegal aliens, and abolish the death penalty.
All right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But, you know, I just wanted to get some of that off my chest. It's very skewed, the way that they want to portray QAnon compared to the reality of what the believers in QAnon believe and what
states to work with us to deploy the National Guard.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're rude as could be, Ermina.
We will have the National Guard. We're prepared. We're ready to go no matter where they may.
Yeah, that's just because they're rude as could
We're ready
be.
to move immediate.
Rude as could be. You know, it's really just disheartening and upsetting that they just can't tell the truth at all anymore. Like about anything. It's so sad. I watch the news and I feel bad for young people who can't see through the BS to pull down the veil and really, you know, be able to understand. But I think that's it for us today. I appreciate everyone who came out. Pattern Seer, Ninja, Blue Eyes, let's see, Cheryl, Claire, thank you. Pattern Seer, of course. Thank you, thank you. No worries, I appreciate all of you, whether you came early, late, not at all. Sex joke. But no, I appreciate everyone. We'll be doing this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, these two shows, basically back to back. One about exposing fake news, this one we just watched, and the other one, yesterday's news today, where we cover actual news because the mainstream media won't do it. Okay to y'all. Love y'all. See you soon.